So before we start our coding part, we have to understand the list of standard interfaces given by SAP. So these are the interfaces which are specific to Dynpro. So whatever we are going to use in the coming examples, I'll try to list out all those things in today's class. And moreover, what SAP has done is, SAP has given some standard interfaces starting with a prefix if_wd. That's a prefix for all the interfaces. There's a prefix given for SAP standard Dynpro interfaces. And here, so these are the interfaces. It starts with if_wd context element. This is one of the interface. And we are also going to use if_wd context node, then if_wd message manager, and if_wd window manager, and if_wd component usage, and if_wd portal integration. Then we try to use if_wd something like view. We'll try to use if_wd window, if_wd component, and if_wd controller, and if_wd application, if_wd context node info, and last one FPM UI building block. So all these interfaces will come into picture when we start our programming part in Dynpro. Okay, so here what SAP has done is, under every interface, SAP has given some list of standard methods. For each and every simple functionality, SAP has provided one standard method. So every interface contains some list of standard methods. So I'll try to list out all those methods which we are going to use in the coming examples. So this is one of the interface. First interface, it contains some methods. So let me highlight those methods here. We are going to use get static attributes. It's a method. And we are going to use set static attributes. Then get attribute, set attribute, then set static attributes, null. So these methods belongs to first interface. So I'll tell you how to use it, how to use these methods, and I'll tell you in which situation you have to use the methods. But in today's class, I'll just try to highlight all the methods now. So these 5 methods belongs to first interface, if_wd context element. And let us take second interface. Second interface also contains some methods. This also contains some methods like move next, move previous, and move first, move last. These are all standard methods. Move to, in the bracket you can use index. Invalidate, create element, remove element, then get element of index, and we'll try to use get element count we're going to use get element count. Then we are going to use like bind element, then bind elements, bind structure, then bind table. They are very, very simple to use. Every functionality has one separate method. In these scenarios, we have to know how to call a simple method. So in the coming examples, I'll tell you how to use each and every method and in which situation you have to use which method. But in today's class, I'll try to list out all the methods. So similarly, you can use isSelected, setSelected, and you can use clear selection, get lead selection, then get lead selection index, and one more important method, get static attributes table method. So all these methods belongs to second interface. So this first interface, second interface, both comes under context-based programming. Both comes under context-based programming, first interface and second interface. What is context-based programming? We are going to study in the next class. And similarly, we have one more method, that is one more interface, IFWD message manager. So this interface we try to use when we go for messages, that means message-based programming. So in message-based programming, SAP has given one interface. In that they have given some methods. Like they are very simple, report success, and you can use report warning, report error message, report attribute error message, and report T100 message, report exception. Report exception, then remove message, clear messages. So all these methods we try to use when we go for message-based programming. And there is one more interface, IFWD window manager. This is another interface. So this we try to use in window-based programming. In window-based programming, we try to use this interface. Like create window is one of the method. Create external window. For each and every simple functionality, there is a separate method. So create underscore window for CMP usage, and create underscore pop-up confirm. Pop-up to confirm. So these are the only 4 methods of this window manager interface. IF means interface, WD means Web Dynpro. So these are the 4 methods we try to use in window-based programming. And similarly, here you can see IF, IFWD window. This also comes under window-based programming. This is a separate interface. So this is also part of window-based programming. You can use something like open is one of the method. Close is another method. Set window title. Set window position. Set window position. Then you can use like set window size. And similarly, there are some more methods. So you can also find all these methods by going to SE24. So let me go to SE24 as well. All the methods whichever I have listed, you can find it in SE24. So I'm going to SE24. IFWD, you can see context node. These are all standard. You need not create interface at this level. How to create interface, I'll explain at next level. But as of now, we should know how to use existing things. So you can see all these methods. Bind element, bind elements, bind structure, bind table, clear selection, create element. And you can see get child node, get context, get elements, get element count. So all these are the methods we are going to use in our examples. Invalidate, move first, move last, move next, remove element. So these are the methods we are going to use. Similarly, in window-based programming, we are going to use IFWD window. We are going to use IFWD window. You can see that I have opened from SE24. And it also contains some important methods like close, open, set window position, set window size, set window title, and you can see subscribe to button event. And unsubscribe, that's also another method. Unsubscribe is also another method. Like that, we are going to use set remove on close. Set close button. Here you can see set message display mode. Set button enabled. And set, this one is important. So all these methods, we try to use all these methods which are related to window-based programming. So these two interfaces comes under that category. Every interface has separate category here. So you can see there is one more interface, IFWD component usage. So this particular interface we try to use in cross-component programming. When I discuss cross-component programming, we are going to use that particular interface and its methods. So one of the method is create underscore component. It's a method name. Delete underscore component is another method. And has active component. And get interface controller. So these are the methods of cross-component programming interface, IFWD component usage. It contains 4 main methods. Similarly, you can see one more interface like portal integration, IFWD portal integration. So this we are going to discuss when I go for portal integration. This is for portal integration programming. So when I go for portal integration programming, we use some methods like navigate absolute. Frankly speaking, you need not remember these methods, but it's better to know which methods will come under which interface. And these are the commonly used methods in real time also. We use almost the same type of methods in real time, like navigate relative and fire, subscribe, and unsubscribe. Just a minute. So these are the 5 methods of portal integration interface. When I discuss portal integration, then we'll try to use some of these methods. And similarly, there is one more like IFWD view. It's a separate interface, and this interface comes under view level, or I can say view-based programming. When we go for view-based programming, we'll try to use this particular interface. So I did not remember, so let me open that interface in SC24, IFWD view. So these are indirect methods, but here these are the direct methods. Get element, get root element, then get view usage, reset view, and you can see set root element, request focus on view element, and you can see some of those other methods. Fireplug is a method name, and you can see something like get current action. This is very important. Which action is triggered by user, you can capture with this get current action method. Get current action info, it's not important, but you can take it. And you can see these things. Get message manager, get message, and get context, get action, then get controller info, controller information, then get personalization manager. So these are the methods we'll try to use. They are very simple to use, but just I'm trying to list out. So all these things will come under view-based programming. And similarly, there is one more interface like IFWD component. I have already covered IFWD window. Now let us understand IFWD component. It also contains some methods. It's an interface. So this will be used when we go for component-based programming. So let me open some of the methods in SC24. So you can see these things, whatever I wrote here, these things will be available for component also. The same methods will be available. Last 6 methods, they are available under component interface also. Apart from that, these are the other things. Get ID, and you can see get window manager, get component info, and you can see get portal manager, then comes add event handler, remove event handler. Remove event handler, then save configuration, delete configuration, and cancel configuration. Save configuration, delete and cancel configuration. Then few more methods. Get component usages, get component usage. So all these things we'll try to use in component-based programming. And moreover, there is one more interface, IFWD controller. That's another interface, so let me write those list of methods. So this is very simple, it's like controller-based programming. So let me open in SC24. So these are available, and if you closely observe, these are the methods. These methods are repeated. These things are repeated in IFWD controller. They are direct methods. They are direct methods in this controller interface. So these things we'll try to use it in controller-based programming. And one more interface we have, IFWD application. It's very simple. This is application-based programming. And we have some methods in this interface. IFWD application. Let me open that. So there are few important methods. Get application info, and this one, get remote address. We don't use it, but it's better to know these methods. And get client environment. and you can see get configuration ID, and set window title. That's it. So these are the methods, and there is one more interface here, IFWD context node info. IFWD context node info. This is also a separate interface. This we'll try to use when we go for dynamically creation of node and attributes. Dynamically creation of nodes and attributes. In that case, we try to use these interface methods like add attribute is one of the method, and remove attribute is one method, and we have add child node and remove child node. Similarly, get attributes, get attribute names. So these methods, and then one more last one, IFFPM UI building block. This we'll try to use when we go for floor plan manager. In floor plan manager, these things will come into picture. IFFPM UI building block, and it contains some methods like process event and process before output. Then flush needs confirmation. Then after failed event. So these are the methods we'll try to use from floor plan manager interface. Some of the methods are internally used, some methods we are going to use explicitly. So all these things, as I said in the beginning, these are the 13 interfaces we have, and every interface contains some list of methods. So I have listed all the methods. In different examples, we'll try to use different methods. We'll try to use different methods in different examples. So, but this is the overall picture of our programming. In our programming, we use all these things. And not only that, SAP has given some standard classes. SAP has also provided some classes and its methods for Dynpro. So let us list out all those things. I'll try to tell you one simple point. Dynpro related classes are given by SAP with a prefix as CL_WD. That's a prefix. CLWD is a prefix for SAP standard classes related to Dynpro. So I'll try to list out all those things. We'll try to use it later, but here left side I'm writing class name, right side I'm writing method name. So CLWD page header, and it contains one method, new page header, and CLWD input field, new input field, CLWD button. Without using these classes also, we can create button, checkbox, page header, all these things. Without using class also, we can do it. So extreme level of programming, in extreme point of view, we are going to use these class and methods in dynamic programming. So what is dynamic programming? At that time, I'll tell you again these class and methods, how to use them. New underscore button, CLWD tray, new tray is a method. CLWD something like group, new group. CLWD table, new table, it's a method. CLWD table column and new table column, it's a method. CLWD link to URL, new link to URL. CLWD link to action. Then CLWD drop down by IDX, index, new drop down by IDX. It's a method. Similarly, there is one more class, CLWD drop down by key, and the method name is new drop down by key. Similarly, we have radio button, group by index, and there is a method for that, new radio button group by index. Let me adjust. Similarly, CLWD image, new underscore image, CLWD progress indicator, new progress indicator, CLWD something like you will find text view, new text view. These are not mandatory, but if you want to create any screen through programming, then we are going to apply these class and methods. Without programming also, we can create these screen elements. CLWD text edit, new text edit, CLWD something like you will find raw data, CLWD matrix data, flow data, new flow data, CLWD grid data, new grid data. So these are for layouts. Layouts in Dynpro, we use these classes. And here we have one more option, CLWD label. You can use new label. So overall, in Dynpro programming, we use all these list of classes and its methods. These are given by SAP, and these are the list of methods and interfaces we are going to use in different examples. So let me take some doubts from your side. And I'm just trying to repeat again, these things we are going to use in our examples. This is a total list that will be used in our programming. Hi students, you have any doubts? Mostly I think you will not have any doubt in today's class because it's totally standard.
Sir, can you tell me the difference between interface, class and method?
That I'll try to explain when we go from object-oriented programming.
Okay.
As of now, we are going to use the existing methods. When I explain custom method, custom class, then at that time I'll tell you how exactly we need to create a custom class and custom interface and custom method. So when we go for object-oriented programming, we'll try to understand what is class, method and interface. But at this level, you need not worry about programming object-oriented point of view. You need not worry about that because in next class onwards, we are going to use the methods directly. Methods will be used, and these methods are given by SAP itself. So for which functionality you have to use which method, at that level I am going to cover in the next few classes. After that, we'll try to understand how to create a custom class, custom method, custom interface, and we'll understand the differences, everything.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Hello? 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 Okay, did you go through yesterday's example?
Hello?
Hello?
Abhishek, can you go up?
There is some problem. Hello? You have any doubts from your side? Not in today's class, any your previous classes.
Hello, Vijay. Hello, Vijay.
Yeah.
Vijay, some of interfaces inside will using again interface method. Why do you like that?
your voice is not
Is there any
clear.
possibility? Is there any possibilities interfaces inside we are using any interfaces?
Interface inside interface?
Yeah.
Yeah, we are going to use that also. SAP has designed some of the interfaces are created inside another interface. Here you can see there is a tilde symbol. Wherever you find tilde symbol, that means, wherever you find tilde symbol, that means that's a method available in interface and that is implemented in another
That's the
interface.
interface. Yeah.
Okay, so let me tell you
Sir,
one
we
more
need
point.
to keep in memory all the interfaces and methods. We need to butify all these things.
No. I gave you, right? I gave this method. I gave some interface names. 13 interfaces you have to remember.
Okay.
Methods you need not remember because once if you remember interface, you can go to SC24 and you can catch the method.
Okay. But we should know the functionality of that particular method.
Yes, functionality
When
you
to
should know.
implement
Yeah,
that.
functionality we are going to understand in the examples. They are very simple to remember and some of the methods are auto-generated in our Dynpro.
Okay.
Some 50% of the methods are auto-generated, 50% of the methods they are very simple to use, but overall by the end of our course we will understand each and everything.
Okay.
Okay, so let me highlight one more point here before we start our programming. Let me tell you this also. Just observe this code wizard behavior. Okay, let us understand code wizard behavior. I'll write it here. Just observe. Code wizard behavior with respect to context option. So you can see in our last class, we have created one node in iTab. We have created a node as iTab. And this iTab node is used in all the views in the last class. On December 31st, I have explained this. And we are using this iTab locally. From component controller, we are using iTab in local view controller. In view 2 also, we are doing the same thing. In view 3 also, we are doing the same thing. Context mapping. And view 4 also, we are taking context mapping here. So that's the last class example. But anyhow, now let us understand some code wizard options. Say for example, I'm going to some method. Some method. I'm not going to write the code now, but I'm trying to tell you how to use wizard. So here you can see, you can go to any method and you can see there is a cracker symbol. There is a wizard option. In wizard, you find two options, context and general. General options will generate some methods. There are several options. It will try to generate some of the methods automatically, which I have listed here. And moreover, some more methods will be auto-generated when we use context option. So context and general, almost 50% of the methods are auto-generated through these options. But for our understanding, I have listed all the things. So let me start with this basic approach. Something like wizard, and I'm selecting context, and let us choose a node. I'm just trying to choose a node. I'm not writing the code. I'm choosing a node iTab, and you can see there is a read operation. We are selecting node with read operation. So you can see some amount of code is auto-generated here. Some amount of code is auto-generated. And in this auto-generated code, you can see getChildNode is a method used internally. And you can see getElement is method used internally. And you can see finally getStaticAttributes method is used. So I mean to say, some of the methods which I have listed in our notepad, those methods are generated here. You can see like getStaticAttributes. You can see getElement. So some of the methods will be auto-generated like this. So let me do it again. I'm using wizard, context, and I'm trying to choose context with node I tab, and I'm using read. So finally one method is generated, that is getStaticAttributes. So let me write that option here. If you select node plus read operation, it will generate this method, getStaticAttributes. There's a final method that is generated. So let me try to use different option now. I'm using wizard again. I'm selecting context. I'm trying to choose node with set operation. Set operation we are using. So again it will generate the same thing, getChildNode, getElement, but final method is, you can see setStaticAttributes. This is important for us. It will generate the code automatically, but when you use node plus set operation, it will generate setStaticAttributes method. So like that, let us understand other options. I'm deleting again. Let me go to wizard, and I'm trying to choose context with node, but I'm using append operation this time. When you choose append operation, so you can see again getChildNode, but finally one method is generated, that is bind structure. This method is generated. Node plus append, and it will generate bind structure method. And similarly, let me use other options. Wizard, I'm selecting again node I'm selecting, and I'm using read plus table. There is a checkbox with table operation. When we use read plus table, you can see getChildNode, that's commonly generated, and last method is getStaticAttributes table. So this is important for us. Node plus read plus table operation. It will generate, you can see, getStaticAttributes table method. It will generate this method. So similarly, but how to use and when to use that method, I'll explain with example. Don't worry now. So I'm trying to use wizard, selecting node again, set plus table. We are using combination of set plus table now. So it will generate again same thing, getChildNode, but final method is bind table. So in our previous example, we have used this method, bind table. So those who have missed this class, I'll repeat that later, don't worry. So here, node plus, if you use set plus table, so it is generating bind table method. Similarly, you can see I'm deleting now. Wizard, context, node iTab, and I'm using append plus table. Append plus table also, it will generate same method. Here you can see bind table. These two are same. It doesn't make difference. It will generate same method. Now, when we write programming at node level, we try to use these methods. Node level methods. These are all node level methods, so we'll try to use it in example. And let us observe other options now. You can see wizard, and I'm selecting attribute. So this time I'm changing the option now. I'm selecting one of the attribute here. It's an attribute. I'm using read operation. So you can see it is generating get child node, get element, but finally one method is generated, that is get attribute. Get attribute method is generated. So we are concerned about this method, attribute plus read operation. Attribute plus read, it will generate this method like get attribute method. It will generate this. Similarly, let me use another option. I'm using wizard, selecting attribute again. You can take any attribute, but if I use set operation, I'm using set operation here, so it will generate set attribute method. So let me write that here. Attribute plus set, it will generate set attribute method. So all these things we try to use it when we go for context-based programming. In context-based programming, we use all these methods, and these methods are auto-generated. Okay, let me take doubts from your side.
Unmuted.
Hi students, so you have any doubt in understanding the last part? This one, code wizard behavior.
No, sir.
Did you understand what I am trying to do it in wizard?
Yes.
How I am able to choose the options? So today's class is just to make you introduce the programming part. Any doubts from this last part, from code wizard behavior?
Sir, once go to this code wizard.
Okay, I'm going to wizard.
Click on that. If you don't mind, can you explain this read, set, append, and set table operation?
I'll be explaining tomorrow.
Difference.
I'll be explaining
Okay.
all these things tomorrow practically.
Okay.
This is just to make you understand how methods are made.
Okay.
Okay, so these options, all these options, you will find from EHP 5. In EHP4 also it will be available, but some changes will take place. So in our classroom, we are using the latest server, SAP ECC 6.0 with EHP5. So this is the latest server we are using. In latest server, it is very simple to develop applications. Okay. In tomorrow's class, what I'll try to do is, I'll try to explain the first basic approach of context-based programming. I'll try to explain the syntaxes and I'll try to tell you which method should be used in which situation. I repeat, in tomorrow's class, we are going to understand context-based programming, and we are going to understand which method should be used in which situation. So that will be in tomorrow's class. In today's class, I'm just trying to highlight the methods, that's it. Okay, we'll stop today's session, and in tomorrow's class, we'll proceed further. Is it okay for everyone?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes. Okay.
And those who have missed yesterday's class, tomorrow I'll try to repeat after explaining the example.
Okay, sir.
Yesterday's class means I think December 31st.
Okay, sir.
Okay. I'm closing the session.
Hello, Vijay.